Tonight there will be blood. We're going to take this amphitheater, this pit in the ground, and we're going to try to make the craziest arena that we can, with all the resources that are at our disposal. And we do have a few resources at our disposal, a large amount of things that we've farmed, but I also want to especially pay attention to Immersive Engineering with their new gun turrets, concrete, flamethrowers, and of course, electrified razor wire. I think we can do a lot with that today. But in the overworld, which we're in now, I want to vary things up a little bit. I want to go for more interesting, bigger, better, not necessarily efficient, but better looking power generation and resource collection. I want to sort of give this place a bit more flavor. I think we should do nothing small here when we start to settle the overworld, and I think we've done enough bosses to justify settling the overworld. Let's really make this arena something for when we summon the Greater Gaia Guardian into it. Oh, and of course the Hermits and the like. But that said, we need some power to operate everything horrible we're planning to do today, so I think our first step is going to be building basically 2 power plants for this big arena here. And I'm thinking putting them one right there and one right there. Let me gather up some spruce and get them set up. Alright, I'm going to start with some Immersive Engineering improved windmills. Among other things, they can be dyed, so we get a nice color for them. And do I want them facing this way? Yes, I want them facing this way, away from the hill. Alright, so I don't want them quite on the edge, but maybe 2 over. So let's sink them into the ground a bit. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Here looks good. Let's do some odd numbers. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, of course, you can't see in the ground, but, you know, I like the idea of it better if it is actually sunk into the ground a bit. 1, 2, 3. All right. That is here. Right here, looks like. Might kill that centaur in a moment. So some of the tougher Grimoire of Gaia mobs actually drop gold nuggets. So I might do a farm for them later. Like mermaids or dryads, I think it was. Mermaids actually drop coalfish, which looks like a fuel source that might be useful to us. Is this... Yes, it's on the same axis. So what I'm going to basically do is build up a frame with these. And sort of, I guess, an Eiffel Tower-like setup. And basically give the idea that, you know, nice, sturdy blocks are needed for this. So let's put this up 5. So I think that's 3 right now. Okay. Let's get these all level. Oh, that's the level yet, but you'll be able to get an idea of what I'm doing in a moment. I had to, I'm gonna have to kill many big spruce trees for this. I've done this, this sort of palette in a, I think it was my, yes, it was my Infinity Evolved world. I had a forestry farm. I did like those forestry farms for spruce wood. And then I set this up a big, huge towers with the Botania. And what I did is I used those item cans from open blocks. And I would shoot blaze lamps past the, I believe it was exoflames or endoflames, whichever one it was. And see if I could get the arc slow enough that the flowers could eat the blaze blocks mid-air. I could actually only do it on certain parts of the arc, so I had to place the flowers very carefully, but it was a lot of fun because there's, you know, flying flammable materials shot through cannons to feed magical flowers. And I really enjoyed doing that, and I might do something similar. However, we don't have the item cannon here. This is too skinny. I need to extend the end out. Because it needs to be... Oh, wait. No, it's too skinny this way. Because it needs to feel bigger. All right, so I'm going to make some adjustments and then show you, I guess, the finished frame. All right, I think this should be a good enough base. I measured some things wrong to begin with. I actually had an even amount of blocks in between, but now it's an odd number, so I'll have a nice place to put the windmill. I think you put in the windmill, like, right there. Now, of course, I have to actually craft it. I don't think I've done that on screen before, so I'll show, you know, a bit of Immersive Engineering. I don't know how much... I haven't shown that much Immersive Engineering at all, so I'll show Immersive Engineering Power Gen. And then all the wiring going down through here. Maybe power floodlight that just sort of shines down this way. I think could be nice. But I think this is a good start, and I can just sort of try mirror it. Of course, I don't actually mind if I don't get it exactly right, because I'm trying for a bit of a cluttered design in the end. But I think it would be good to get it mostly consistent, and basically get two big windmills flanking this thing and powering a lot of the horrible devices that run this. And then I think I'm going to replace the middle with grass, and then maybe do stands the other upper levels, and then horrible death machines down anywhere the arena combatants can access. So basically, 1, 2, 3. So the first 4 floors, I think would be good. So let me gather supplies for Immersive Engineering, and I guess make lots and lots of hemp. All right, Immersive Engineering has hemp as one of its main crops that's used. Should be able to grow this with bone meal. Yeah, there we go. Now, I'm getting some spare chickens. That's not good. Let me see if this will auto-harvest just right. It might need to click on the top. Yes, this is a bit of the problem here. So to harvest hemp, I think you need to break the top. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to auto-harvest it, but I can grow it pretty quickly through here. Basically, we are getting both these industrial hemp fibers, and we're getting hemp seeds. Hemp seeds can be used to make plant oil, which can be used for power gen. And then this can be used to either make Immersive Engineering exclusive things, or can be, if you have a lot of it, extra, say if you're using the seeds for power gen, it can be used to make just normal string. So you always have a use for it, and then string can make into wool and so on. So it's possible to do a hemp wool farm, basically, in the end. If you want to, you might do that for a mana system eventually. Although we're actually doing pretty good on mana right now. Let me see. Yeah, that one's full again. That one's full. This one's filling up. And that's after I refilled the ones for the gate. So our new mana system is working pretty well. Now, hemp and treated wood are some early game resources. I might build a coke furnace, which basically turns coal into coal coke, or wood into charcoal, and then it generates creosote oil as a byproduct, which you can then use to make treated wood, the lovely stuff we use to make these things. However, I've looted a bunch of treated wood. I might have enough that I can just go ahead and make what I need today. We'll find out. All right, one of the first things you're going to need an engineer's hammer. Engineer's hammer is easy enough to make. Like that. Oh, I guess we need wire cutters too. I thought it was shears, but I guess it's wire cutters instead. So let me make one of those. Okay, wire cutter. So I'm going to need, by the end of this, a whole lot of copper cable. So, I guess let me start with taking this out. First, we need to make it into plates, I believe. So let's go ahead and make a stack of that. Oh, that was not a stack. Oh, it doesn't like it because, yeah. Let me use another crafting system. The durability change was messing with it. So let's go ahead and make a stack. All right, there we go. That almost destroyed our hammer, but that's all right. Let's make these copper plates into wires. Do shears work? I thought they did. Yes, they do. Okay, so I guess wire cutters or shears. Let's just ruin the shears. All right. So we've got a whole bunch of things. Now, one of the first things we need to make is a kinetic dynamo for making power. It's going to need a copper coil block. Let me see what that was again. I think it is just copper coil around. Oh, yes, we have another step. We've got to make a LV wire coil, a few of those. Those use basically sticks with then copper around them. We're going to need quite a bit of those. Let's start with 32 for now. Then copper coil block, just iron with copper around it. For those of you familiar with this sort of thing, basically this is what's going to be generating our power. And then for this, kinetic dynamo. A little redstone, a little bit of iron, not too hard to do. The more difficult part is coming next. So let's, yeah, here we are, kinetic dynamo. Actually going to need 2 of those in the long term. So let's make a second one of these. So we need 1 for each of the, not that one, there we go. 1 for each of the windmills. All right, so after that, we are going to need to make a windmill. And we are going to need improved windmill. Some steel, we can make that through mechanism. Normally it's a lot harder to make steel in Immersive Engineering alone. For that, we need tough fabric. Okay, we can do that, I think. So how much tough fabric are we going to need? 4 of those times 16 blades. All right, we're going to need to make a lot of tough fabric. You see how it's put together, then we put it around the steel, and then windmill blades is going to be treated sticks and treated wood. We might not have enough wood. I'll see if I can put this all together. All right, we actually ran out of treated wood before we got enough for a second improved windmill. We have enough for at least 1, and we can start on that, and then we can worry about the treated wood later. Oh, I've actually got to make the blades first. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, and we still have, it looks like it did take an entire stack of tough fabric for the 2 of them, but we can make this. I believe we can click on this with a dye later to dye it. I think red might be good, but we'll see what colors look good when we get up there. Let's at least lay this out, and then start working on wiring the like for it. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is place down this right here. If I remember correctly, yes. This right here is the side where you attach the thing to. This can be used with either windmills or watermills. I've seen most of it, my builds I've ever done have been watermills. Same with most I've seen from other people, just because they make more power and you can stack 3 of them onto a single kinetic dynamo. So when you're starting out, it's a lot more efficient. Also, the watermill is a lot easier to make than the improved windmill. But here we are. A windmill. And there we go. It's really going because it's raining and whatnot. This is generating power. The power is going nowhere. But I really like the look of that thing. Even without any dye. Let me see if I can dye it. Do I want to try red or do I want to try orange? I want to try orange. Now I think we have the little crushing tool here. Let's try to make some orange dye and see if we can dye it. Otherwise I might have to craft it. I did read that it was dyeable. So let's give this a try. Oh, this thing's big. Okay, it's not dyeable there. I'll figure that out later. Now this, I think, is a good start for now. Looks nice and impressive. I need to make the wires and probably some sort of battery thing for it. I think the next step is to get more treated wood going because we need a second of these, and I guess I need to make a second of these. But, where do we want to put the charcoal maker? Maybe closer to town? We might be able to put it in some Immersive Engineering house here somewhere. I thought I saw one. Yeah, down here. We could just put it in this one. Maybe also see what wood we can take from this. Kind of unusual situation to begin with. Yeah, let me see what I can do. Alright, I've gathered up supplies. First thing you need is 28 coke bricks. Well, 27, but it crafts 2 at a time, so you're going to get 28. Those are made from a combination of sandstone, clay, and bricks. You're going to want to move, guy. Move. You're going to be trapped there. One second. Let me save the villager. There we go. Villager's saved for now. Okay, so 27 of these laid out in a 3x3x3. If I remember correctly, no hollow spaces. Alright, and then you're going to take your hammer, which I put away helpfully. Doesn't matter the damage on the thing. Then right-click the center block. And this is basically how all the immersive engineering multi-block things are formed. You have to right-click them at some point with the engineer's hammer. Now what I like to do is set this thing up with, first off, a fluid tank. And make sure the fluid tank is grabbing from the back. So any fluid will be stored in here. This thing's capacity is only 12. This thing is 16. This thing will fill up real quick. Then I like to have one of these Tinker's crafting stations right here. This will make crafting in the long term a lot easier. We should fill this up with coal. Let's throw a stack of coal in there. And it will start very slowly becoming coal coke. Now as it moves, well, as it becomes coal coke, this is going to fill up with the creosote oil, which we then use in here to craft the wood. Oh, it's getting... I'm going to move this one over some. We want to just see the inventory of... Huh. You can no longer see the inventory of the fluid tank. That used to work. Oh well. Anyway, this has started. I'm going to actually see what I can do to protect the town, because I don't want to lose these villagers. I mean, I guess if necessary, I can just, you know, respawn them all from this guy. I'm going to store this guy away safely for now. He's precious to us. Alright, but this has started. We are going to get some creosote oil and then be able to get the supplies for the next windmill. Alright, we have our first bucket of creosote oil. Put it in the center. Then just surround it with wood. And there you are. 1 bucket treats 8 wood. I'll let this run for a bit. It looks like you get half a bucket from each coal coke. So I'm just going to let this run. And we can set up the rest of our windmill. Well, I should have put a windmill right there. That would have been fun. I'll put one there too. But first... Ooh, I'm just going to steal that. I'm going to need that. Okay, but first, I need to build the frame and set up the second windmill. Alright, to set up a basic power system with this, we are going to need LV wire connectors, relays, and coils, and then we're going to need a capacitor. I'm just going to do MV capacitor, because they aren't too hard to make, and they can work with the low V stuff. Alright, let me see. Okay, craft 1, craft 2. Alright, I'm going to put these down. They use some treated wood. I don't know if you noticed that. As well as lead, copper, and iron and other things. I think for now, I'm just going to put this right here. We might move it to a better place. I'm going to put this one over here. Now, to connect all these things, we're going to first need LV wire connector on both of these. We're going to have to make sure it's input. I forget which one's input and which one's output. Then we're going to need some relays. So let's make some relays. There we go. Just going to put a relay. I might be able to fit one right there. And then right there. Now, let's try connecting the copper coils. Do we have any more? Oh, I did an MV relay, didn't I? Let me correct that. They look very similar. Okay. Let's put that one away for now. We don't need it. Oh, and then I'm going to need an LV wire coil. Let's make 2 of those. All right. And this, all right, LV wire connector, excellent. So we go ahead and break some things. We'll probably need those eventually, but we're not going to need them for now. The windmill's not going to be generating, I don't think it's going to be generating enough energy that we're going to need an MV relay. So, to link these, we take our cable, we right-click on a wire connector, and then connect it to our next slot. There we go, we've got a connection going between those two things. Now, you have to use relays in between wire connectors to basically keep the signal going. And I believe these have a 16 block range, so they don't just go forever. Now there's some energy loss as it goes. Oh hey, everything's already connected correctly. Now you might have to do some side configuring with your hammer, right click to cycle through input and output and the like. But this has already been configured correctly. So we are now generating power through our big massive windmill. Not that much, but it's something. It might be enough to run a few machines at least. And if necessary, I guess we can hide some stuff underneath, but this is going to be our big obvious power source. So let's put some LV wire connectors over here and basically do the same thing. I think the big thing I want to try to get today is to get some of those floodlights going. I haven't actually seen those in game yet, and I really want to. I know it's not necessarily a hazard, but it'll look super cool, I think. Alright, there we go. All connected. We are now generating power. Let me just double check. We are now generating power over here, too. These generate more power when it's raining, and even more when it's thundering. And I haven't figured out how to dye them yet. Maybe I was redlining incorrect when it said that they could be dyed. I've tried dyeing it in, crafting inventory, or just applying a dye here. I just tried a normal red dye from vanilla Minecraft, so that should have worked if it was possible. But if they aren't dyeable, that's fine. These still look pretty. Let me see what I need to do to get some nice big floodlights going. Alright, I made two little, posts where I can put lights on. Oh, that's some dangerous area right there. I move these over a bit closer. I think it looks a little bit better over here. I'll probably build this up more later. But I'm basically planning to put the floodlights right here shining down. So let's go ahead and craft them. We had to make more copper coils. Iron mechanical block is very simple. Some copper in the center. So let's make two of those. Now if I remember correctly, I can aim these. So let's put this one right here. Okay, it's aiming the wrong way. Aziz Light. That's great. Yeah, I love that movie. I am also looking forward to... Oh, it looks like I can connect to it directly. Okay. Let me just get rid of some of these creepers. They're worrying me a bit. There we go. Wasn't there a second one here somewhere? I don't know. Alright, that should be good for now. So it looks like I can connect directly to it. So let's put a LV wire connector right there. We might have to make some adjustments to have it send from that side. But let's go from there to here. Okay, I don't think it's creating any light yet. Let's do the same thing for this side. Oh, that's the wrong way. Let me see what I can do to shift things around a bit. I can... Okay, that pitches it. Oh, well, that works. Okay. That did the trick, even though it wasn't what I was wanting to do. Oh, I should put a LVY connector right here. And then, there we go. It is now connected. But I don't think this is the output, so let me try whacking that. So blue is input, I think, so I think orange is output. So that should be doing something. I don't know what's going on yet. Oh, I think they need redstone signal. I think that's probably what's going on. Alright, redstone signal. I think, if I remember the book right, I can shift right-click the base. Let me see. Rotate, okay. Sneaking and right-clicking their base, okay. Inverted. Oh, what's going on now? Oh, was that on before? Alright, so it looks like we were able to get this working. Got light shining down, lighting up this entire area here, this entire area here. We could use potentially some light back here and back here. We could make a few more of these and actually chain. These can count as a wire relay, so I could actually have wire relay going over this area and to get this whole area lit up. It's too bad there's no shaded lighting, but that's a Minecraft problem, I think. That doesn't allow any shaded lighting. I mean, the closest we can get to it is putting a bit of colored glass over this to change this up, which might be useful. But we have our arena starting to be lit. We have a power system up and going. And we can use this to start adding hazards and more lighting and bring some more distinctiveness to this place. I've also started to replace the bottom pit here with dirt. I'm probably going to use one of the custom Botania grasses down here. But I think this is a good start. Alright, we have a good start to the arena today. We have our power generation going, we have our wiring going, we have our lighting. We have the start of redecorating the pit a bit, but I do want to do more with it. But I think this is a good point to end the episode before I start trying to do another project. I figure next time we could probably try out some of that razor wire, try out a few turrets, and see what other sort of hazards we can build into this entire thing. But I am looking forward to it. I hope you all had a good time, and I will see you all for, well, the next episode. Might be a farming valley. It's been a little while since we've had one of those. But have a good night.